What is going on, my fellow gaming warriors? Tis the Juan, and recently I just saw this video called "It's Time to Boycott Call of Duty" by XTC Ferocity, whatever it is. And I'm listening to it. You know, it's a typical like, oh, we gotta boycott Activision. Yeah, this is the only way things are gonna change. And so I'm listening, and I'm like, is this dude like new? Is this dude new to the Call of Duty scene? Is he new to Call of Duty in itself? Never mind YouTube. Like, is he new to this? Because a lot of us have been saying this for years. You know, boycott Call of Duty. It's the only way things are gonna change. Don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. We've been saying this stuff for years. But it takes SM2 to get canceled. It takes SM2 to get a cease and desist. A game that hasn't even been talked about in months. But all of a sudden it gets a cease and desist letter from Activision. And that's what it takes for people to get an outrage and boycott. There are a lot worse things going on with Call of Duty right now. There are a lot worse things that have been happening over the course of the Call of Duty scene over the years. But this is what turns the table for you? That SM2 gets canceled? Really? SM2 and a bunch of clients from old Call of Duties that only 2,000 people were playing? Like, that's what gets you? And then he follows up with another video like, oh, you know, united we stand, basically. The Call of Duty community is really united now. It's so united. I've never seen it so united before. Look, I'm not saying boycotting Activision and Call of Duty and not buying the next game is not a bad idea. It's an idea that I have had since Call of Duty Ghosts, actually, and I followed through with that. Call of Duty Ghosts, I've said this before many times, but Call of Duty Ghosts was the last Call of Duty that I bought. That was 2013. I was a kid back then, and I knew better than dudes know now, because they still go out and buy it, even though they're constantly and actively speaking out against Call of Duty. I mean, really, like the hypocrisy that's going on nowadays. But yeah, like I said, I'm not against boycotting. I have been saying that for years. I stayed consistent on that with Modern Warfare 2. I didn't buy it. So but here's the thing. My friends, I've said this a lot of times too, I know, for all the people who are new. My friends bought this for me. I was reluctant. I didn't want them to buy it for me, but they kept bugging at me to get it, for them to buy it for me. And so I said, sure, why not? Fine. You know, because let's be real, the boys come before a lot of things, okay? The boys are a priority. And so, you know, I complied. I complied with their request. And I got the game. Not saying I play it actively. I mean, I don't play Modern Warfare 2 at all, really, unless they ask me to hop on. But, I mean, when the boys come calling, I come running, okay? That is the truth. When the boys come calling, I come running. I don't care if it's, you know, this Modern Warfare 2, the worst game of all, Call of Duty game of all time. I don't care what it is. I'm still gonna, you know, we're still gonna have a good time. I'm just being honest. But I would never promote you to buy this game. And like I said, boycotting Call of Duty, boycotting Activision, great. But it's not gonna change anything. I hope you realize that. Because here's the thing, Call of Duty, Activision in itself, they make most of their money through a free-to-play game, Warzone, okay? Free-to-play Warzone through microtransactions. Do you not get it? I mean, probably 80, 70, at least 70, 80% of their money probably comes from Warzone, right? And mobile. I bet more money comes through mobile than multiplayer. I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like they care a lot more about mobile than they do about multiplayer from what I've seen. Here's the thing. Now, right, it comes down to money now, but now before I read this, I'm gonna refresh your memory here. The Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger was blocked by the UK Commission and Markets Authority, CMA. Okay, so let me just, you guys already know that. You probably already heard that. So I'm gonna read this right now. The UK Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, recently blocked the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard merger because of concerns about the future of cloud gaming. In a report on the decision, lots of interesting details about the production of AAA games were revealed. Included in the report was the revelation that major gaming publishers can spend up to $1 billion to develop and market games. Like, think about that. $1 billion. So now I got curious. I looked back at the original Modern Warfare 2. How much money did they put into developing the game and marketing it? Now keep in mind, you know, you could say inflation or whatever, but there's more and more money being spent into these games. And I don't think it's coincidence that they're making more money. You know, I think this has a big factor, a big role in playing how much money they're making from these games. The more they put in, it seems like the more they take out. Call of Duty, this is from 2009, an article from 2009 actually, from the LA Times. It's actually pretty cool. Kind of like a little historical document here of what was going on. Call of Duty cost $40 million to $50 million to produce, people close to the project said, about as much as a mid-sized film, including marketing expenses and the cost of producing and distributing discs. The launch budget was $200 million, on par with a summer popcorn movie, and extremely high for a video game. The next Call of Duty 2023, could be $300 million put into development alone. And now we're talking about $700 million put into marketing. That is insane. So you better believe that Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare Roman numeral 3 very well may surpass Modern Warfare 2 in sales. You thought Modern Warfare 2 broke a record? Modern Warfare 3 might break Modern Warfare 2's record because it was the fastest selling Call of Duty ever. Okay, we know that. You know, Activision couldn't stop talking about a Call of Duty because everything they put into it was paid for by the sales, by us, the consumers, right? And all the microtransactions that come after. That's where they make all their money, all the microtransactions. And multiplayer, Warzone, and the DMZ, like everything. Everything is paid for. Everything. The development of Modern Warfare 2's campaign, the multiplayer, DMZ, Warzone, everything. Warzone 2, I mean, it's all paid for by us, by people who pay for microtransactions. And people who bought the game in the first place. We're talking just think about that, $1 billion put into a game. And a game that lasts 1 year. So the fact that they're able to do this year in and year out, and able to put in $1 billion and not lose anything, and gain more, after, again, from all the microtransactions, that's the key thing, that's the most important thing here. I mean, what they're doing fine. They're laughing at everyone saying, yeah, boycott Activision, boy. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at everyone, because they know what they're able and not able to do. And they are able to screw us all with these horrible games, bad quality games, because they are allowed to get away with it. And you can say, oh, boycotting Activision will make, it'll make up for it, that'll change things. No, it won't. It's working. Because if it wasn't working, they wouldn't be doing this and they would actually listen to us. You all need to understand this. Because boycotting is not going to do anything. We've already crossed this bridge before. I don't know where this is coming from. Boycott Activision, SM2. It took you for SM2, a game that's not even Call of Duty. A game that is actually illegal and Activision holds the rights to. Not sticking up for them, but just saying the truth. It's not morally right, but legally it is. And the fact that you expected anything otherwise from Activision, a billion-dollar corporation that is full of a bunch of spineless meatheads. Boycott Activision! Again, good intentions. I applaud you for that. Good intentions. But it's gonna amount to nothing. Because it seems the more money they put into these games, the more they take out. And I think, judging by these reports, that the next Call of Duty will cost around $1 billion to develop and market, you better believe Modern Warfare 2 was around the same. And that game sucked, but they marketed the hell out of it, and they marketed it well. And obviously the development, nothing really there. The worst multiplayer of all time, but it doesn't matter. Because the more money they put into it, the more they're going to take out. So have fun boycotting Activision, but don't be surprised when nothing happens. Subscribe if you're new. If you're offended by this and you want to boycott, go ahead. Honestly, yeah, I'm not saying don't, go ahead and buy it. Don't buy the game. I encourage you not to buy it if you really want change. But again, at the same time, you're not going to see change because we are the minority. It's hard to accept it, but we are. And the Call of Duty cycle never fails. Never fails. Year in and year out, we say the same things, and it never fails. People keep buying the games, playing it. I'll call out their bluff on it. But yeah, like the video if you enjoyed. Comment what you think on this. Like, do you see my side here? Like, boycotting Activision is not going to do anything, and I even see it from, I think Blame Truth, one of his last videos. I think his last video said I'm boycotting Modern Warfare 3, which is fine. That's good, right? You have good intentions. I applaud you for that. But just don't be surprised when nothing happens. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, we can only do so much. We can keep speaking out against it, speaking the truth, but at the end of the day, there's nothing we can really do. We're a bunch of ants among, giants. With Activision. Activision versus us, you kidding me? They think they care about our feelings? Of course not. They would have already listened if our opinions mattered, if they were losing out on money or whatever. Like, they would have already listened. So, points proven. I'm a sentinel. 'Tis been one.